So welcome everyone to the American Council of Engineering Companies of Colorado 2021 annual meeting. I am Carly Thomas, ACEC Colorado's current president and principal at Pinion Environmental. We are glad you have joined us today, and we celebrate a busy past year with many highlights and look forward to the upcoming year. Before we begin, just a couple of housekeeping notes regarding this digital format. If you have not done so already, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. We will have time to address any questions or comments later. Please feel free to type these in the chat box at any time, though, and we will read them at the end. This meeting is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel later this month. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our corporate sponsor firms for their support. USI Insurance Services, Ken's Print and Graphics, and Initial IT, who are all Diamond level sponsors. The Unfound Door, a gold level sponsor, and Colorado Real Estate Journal and Building Dialogue, our joint media partner. Now I'm turning things over to our immediate past president, Brad Doyle, who is going to present his long overdue 2020 President's Award. Brad?
Yep, thank you, Carlene. Good morning, I am Brad Doyle, ACEC's Colorado's president for 2019. Due to a very crazy past year, I was unable to award ACEC Colorado's President's Award last year to two very deserving recipients. It is long overdue that we take this opportunity to catch up on our traditions. As you all know, ACEC Colorado's president gets to award individuals who have went above and beyond to represent our engineering community in their contributions and achievements. In 2019, the American Society of Civil Engineers, ASCE Colorado chapter, took on a monumental task of creating its 2020 infrastructure report card. For those who have not seen or maybe simply need a refresher, Colorado's overall GPA, and I know you can't read this, but we can get you the information about how to find this. But our overall grade was a C-. Now, it's been a while since I've been concerned about a GPA, but I doubt a C- would have been very tolerable to the people that was supporting me back when I was in school. So to arrive at this score, an intensive volunteer effort by ASCE members went about to collect data in 14 different categories represented in the report card and distill that information into an easy to understand state of Colorado's infrastructure in a manner that could be easily conveyed to the general public. With this award, I would like to recognize the two leaders of ASCE's Colorado's effort, Peyton Gibson and Sarah Klarich. Peyton and Sarah took on the task of leading ASCE's development of the 2020 report card, along with several other ASCE members. They then went on to carry this message to numerous organizations at annual conferences and other various events. I remember talking with Sarah at the ACEC Colorado Infrastructure and Innovation Summit back in March of 2020, which happens to be the last time that we were actually all together, and realizing the effort that went into creating this report card and understanding the importance of such a simplified document for our decision makers to help them understand the state of our Colorado infrastructure. Their efforts have had far-reaching impact. Just this year, the Colorado report card has been used by the Biden administration for the Colorado fact sheet of the Americans Jobs Plan. The White House has released a state-by-state fact sheet for the American Jobs Plan, and if you look closely, you'll see the fact sheets appear to cite grades for each of the state's most recent ASCE report cards. Please join me in recognizing Peyton Gibson and Sarah Klarich for their tireless efforts to lead ASCE's creation of our 2020 report card. Sarah, Peyton, if you would like to say a few words, you can go ahead and do so at this time.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank ACEC. I know Marilyn and Heidi, you guys worked alongside us pretty much throughout the whole process. You got us in front of some cameras and out for interviews. So we're really thankful for y'all to have you as a partner in collaboration with this. It's just so important that when we're making, policy documents and putting stuff out like this, it's not just the engineers talking. We really need to get everyone, or not just the ASCE engineers talking. It's really important that we get all the stakeholders on board so that we're a stronger force together. I really enjoyed the whole process and working with everyone here. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again in person. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo Peyton's thanks to ACEC for all the opportunities that you continue to provide for working with ASCE, and then also specifically with the report card effort as well. And then, just echoing the team that Peyton and I worked with within ASCE and anyone we contacted. It's great to see that it's appreciated and being able to still utilize the information. So thanks, Brad.
I am now pleased to present the 2021 President's Award to Laura Kroger of Mile High Flood District. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. Heidi, can you see my video?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. As Brad mentioned, this award goes to those who have gone above and beyond what is asked of them in our industry. Laura has been with Mile High Flood District, formerly Urban Drainage and Flood Control District, for the last 17 years and developed a qualifications-based selection process for engaging the best consultants and contractors to collaborate on delivering Mile High Flood District projects. During the pandemic, Laura and the Mile High Flood District placed a priority on moving projects through design and construction in collaboration with ACEC Colorado member firms. These projects protect people, property, and our environment from flood risks. Laura stated that quote, "We do this in true partnership and we value the expertise, professionalism, and friendships of those we are fortunate to work with." Laura had our back through this pandemic, and for that we would like to express a hearty thank you and congratulations. Laura, would you like to say a few words?
I'd love to if this is working. I just got to my hotel room in Las Vegas, so I'm so glad I was able to join. When Carlene called about this award, I, one, was very humbled and honored, but I thought Carlene was just missing me because we hadn't been able to attend too many conferences together this year. But it's been a rough year, and we are so appreciative of really our partnership and design work we've been doing over the years with all of you. We've been able to provide safe and beautiful places for people to go during this difficult time. And I know at the Mile High District, we are so appreciative of the work that you guys do and the long hours that are put in day to day to help really make us all successful in making our community safer. So thank you for your time, passion, and energy that you've given to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. All right, we would like to move on to recognize a select group of members who are called to serve as officers and directors. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the 2020-2021 officers and directors who have served with me. It has been a pleasure and honor to work with you. I look forward to serving as past president in the coming year and those who will be continuing on or joining the board. At this time, though, let's recognize those who are leaving the board following completion of their terms this year, including past president Brad Doyle of Atkins, Metro Director Dean Bradley of Felsberg, Holtz, and Ullvig, Metro Director Jack Peterson of Martin Martin, South Director Scott Asher of Wilson and Company, and West Director John Sikora of AECOM. Thank you each for your service to the council over the past years. It has been much appreciated. It feels awkward not to applaud, so I'm going to applaud you all. Thank you. In many ways, it has been amazing that it's been over a year since I took on my term as president. In other ways, it seems like an eternity. I hope that I am the first and the very last president that was not able to attend a single in-person meeting. On the positive side, I met hundreds of you over video calls and hope that when I see you in real life, I will recognize your three-dimensional form and we can continue getting to know each other. Before I get too far in, I wanted to first thank the ACEC Colorado staff who has really gone above and beyond, not only keeping us relevant and engaged during the pandemic, but allowing us to pivot and thrive in this new environment. These individuals are our Executive Director, Marilyn Reamer, Deputy Director and COO, Heidi Gordon, Education and Finance Director, Dana Mansell, and Membership Concierge, Brenda Walters. Now, looking back over the past 12 months, exactly what has our association accomplished? We have changed our approach from being somewhat reactive to being definitely proactive, allowing us to be industry leaders rather than followers. Highlights of our accomplishment from the past year include significant work on our new 3-year strategic plan, which we rolled out last year. First is advocacy, being voiced to advance, protect, and promote public policy and build public and private sector relationships. Prior to the start of this year's legislative session, ACEC Colorado held 3 roundtable members-only meetings with several state representatives, senators, and their staff to discuss priorities for the session and review bill drafts. During Engineers Week, we held a government affairs orientation that provided insight on how members can get engaged in state-level advocacy. ACC Colorado and the Qualifications-Based Selection, or QBS, Colorado Coalition continued to be effective. ACC Colorado and CDOT are working on developing a joint QBS training for local agencies. And in fact, that group is presenting to the Wyoming Society of Professional Engineers meeting at its annual meeting later today. Our members and staff testified several times during the current session, including on Senate Bill 21-176 and Senate Bill 21-165. Our Government Affairs Committee continues to meet regularly on advocacy efforts related to transportation, water, energy, capital construction, and greenhouse gas issues. Next is professional connections. We aim to maintain and engage membership representing diverse sectors of consulting engineers. With the work from home situation, we still held regular membership meetings through online fireside chats. These were focused on a specific topic and allow members to share ideas, network, and gain insights. And I know in the first months of the stay-at-home order, they were a lifeline to me to see real people. They've been very popular and will continue to be utilized into the next year. They've even provided more engagement than in-person meetings for some of our members on the Western Slope, or where it wouldn't have been feasible to drive to Denver for a luncheon. Our committees have continued to flourish, helping develop the organization's leaders and provide an opportunity for additional engagement, education, and networking around a focused interest. Our digital events also offer some fun for members via online social events. There was a holiday party with some awesome Christmas sweaters and fun interactions for Engineers Week, including a great trivia night that brought together multiple generations from our membership. The third goal is firm success, providing the resources and opportunity to support firm and career success. ACEC Colorado's education didn't miss a beat during the pandemic by providing a comprehensive leadership development program, as well as many well-received business practice focused seminars. The pandemic allowed us to bring in nationally recognized speakers for this programming since travel wasn't necessary. A revised and updated subsurface utility engineering training for municipalities and engineers was held to a sold-out online crowd. The online format of all the educational programs has also allowed these programs to be available on demand. A special accomplishment is the creation and launch of our very own Diversity and Inclusion Committee. The group is developing outreach efforts that will target middle and high school students to complement our current focus at the collegiate level. Additionally, diversity and inclusion specific roundtable discussions for members and business practices training are being planned. The fourth is public value, to demonstrate and communicate the value consulting engineering brings to society. Again, despite being forced online, the annual Engineering Excellence Awards were a resounding success with 16 firms submitting entries. This year, we will follow the same format, and there is a how to enter digital workshop that will be held in June that members are encouraged to attend. We continue to contribute to industry publications, including Colorado Public Works Journal and Colorado Construction and Design, and participate as thought leaders in Colorado Business Roundtable podcasts. ACEC Colorado was also the feature profile in ACEC National's award-winning magazine, Engineering Inc. Another online success was this year's Engineers Week with daily events designed for members, middle and high school students, and college students. As part of the marketing for these events, ACEC Colorado formed new partnerships with organizations such as the Colorado Association of Professional Black Engineers and Scientists, and strengthened collaboration with groups such as Transportation and Construction Girl. The fifth and final goal is organizational excellence. Through this, we will maintain a vibrant ACEC Colorado membership organization in a way of leadership and resources. ACEC Colorado is preparing for a leadership transition not only in today's board, but in the staff as well, with the pending retirement of our very own Executive Director, Marilyn Reamer, at the end of the year. Marilyn has been working tirelessly for several years with the board and with Deputy Director and COO Heidi Gordon to ensure a smooth transition as Heidi will take the reins at the end of the year. Despite the pandemic, we did not see a significant impact on our membership as we maintain a similar number of member firms and still stand within ACEC National's top 5 membership organizations with the highest count of member firms. The board has worked hard with the budget committee to keep the financials of their organization healthy despite the strange and unpredictable year. The reserves are expected to see an increase at the close of the fiscal year, and the bottom line is solid. The board is considering investment in technologies as the online world that exploded this past year is here to stay, whether we want it or not. And we want to continue to offer high quality programming. Ideally, we will be offering hybrid events that provide either in-person or online opportunities that ensure both live and digital experiences are top notch. If you remember last year, that very long year ago, I spoke of hard problems, soft problems, messy or wicked problems. I challenge each of you to be messy problem solvers and tackle these problems that have complex interconnections. These include major human behavior impacts, cultural and social concerns, and are difficult to explain due to lack of clarity. Our challenge is to step up as engineers and scientists to get out of our comfort zones and make real progress in solving these messy problems that have become even more messy over the past year. My goal as president was to advocate for engineers to be messy problem dissolvers, to transform ourselves, to embrace technology, and to be pioneers, to put ourselves out there and maybe even brag a little bit. I have seen that in our membership. While there is much left to do, we have made great strides, and I thank each and every one of you for what you do for our industry, our community, our state, and our nation. In closing, I want to thank you for allowing me the privilege of serving as your president this past year. We have undoubtedly faced some challenges, but in these unprecedented times, I am proud of how our association has kept us as members informed of changing developments, not only regarding COVID-19, but the business of consulting engineering at both the state and national levels. Thank you very much. All right, are we all ready for this? It is now my privilege to transfer the gavel to the gavel. I probably don't want any gravel, Bill.
The gravel.
The gavel to our new president, Bill Green, who is the president and principal at the RMH Group. And here you go, Bill.
Thank you, Carlene. And thank you for all your hard work as president through this past year. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And I'm really looking forward to your involvement as past president in the 2021-2022 term. To commemorate your service and dedication and commitment to ACC Colorado, you will be receiving a handmade glass statue any day now. Just look for it from your local UPS driver. It is now my honor to introduce your 2021-2022 Board of Directors who will serve with me during my presidency. Please turn on your video and audio as I call your names. Our officers are Vice President Gray Clark from Muller Engineering, Secretary Treasurer Brant Lannert from KLNA, ACEC National Director Peter Monroe from IMEG, past President Carlene Thomas from Pinion Environmental. Our Denver Metro Directors are Mary Keith Floyd from Goodby and Associates, Greg Kishiyama from Farnsworth Group, Kara Swanson of David Evans and Associates, and Jason Wenger from HDR. Our South Area Director is Derek Lindvall from Atkins. Our North Area Director is Dan Overton of Engineering Analytics. And finally, our West Director is Dave Merritt from AECOM.
Hi, folks.
Welcome. I will now proceed with the installation of officers and directors. When I read the following statements, please say "I do" if you agree. As officers and directors of the American Council of Engineering Companies of Colorado, you are assuming a position of prestige and authority. With that prestige comes responsibility to the council and to the members who have elected you. Although this is a position of voluntary leadership, you have made a commitment to serve this organization, which will require a great deal of time and dedication on your part. As duly elected officers and directors, do you agree to uphold the code of ethics and professional conduct guidelines of the American Council of Engineering Companies of Colorado?
I do.
I
do.
do.
Will.
Do you agree to perform the duties of your office to the best of your ability and in accordance with the bylaws of the council?
I do.
I do.
Congratulations, and I truly look forward to working with each of you in the year ahead.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill. Congratulations.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, I would like to start first by thanking the staff of ACC, including Marilyn Reamer, Heidi Gordon, Dana Mansell, and Brenda Walters, who really do the hard work for us. They organize us, they look out for the good of all our businesses. The value that this organization creates for its members cannot be understated. And I think every consulting firm in Colorado should be a member or at least pay us money for what we do for them. I started my career at RMH in 1980, and I became a certified consulting engineer through ACC Colorado in 1988. A past designation which Marilyn may remember was a way to set ourselves apart. I became a member of ACC in 1996 and then became heavily involved in the passage of House Bill 15-1197, which made duty to defend contract language in public contracts against the law in Colorado. I was so impressed with what Marilyn was able to do for us in that legislation, and we have benefited greatly from that effort. I really owe my involvement in ACC to my boss and mentor for over 25 years, Tom Moore, who was president of ACEC exactly 20 years ago in 2001. Tom spent a huge amount of time with ACC, and I could see it helped shape him as a leader. Tom was able to learn from the presidents and principals of the ACC members with whom he served, and it helped him become a better leader. Tom taught me that the only way we can shape our future as a business is to get involved. He said, if you don't like something, don't just sit there and complain. You need to step up and do something. ACEC is the means that we can use to get the change that we need to be successful as businesses, and we all need to be a part of that effort. So they don't call me Bill Green for nothing. We are in a pivotal time in human history. Mankind is facing the most difficult challenges it's ever seen, with the threat of climate change, droughts, floods, extreme weather events, rising sea level, energy security, food and water security, and even cyber security. In just 30 short years, we must get to net zero by fundamentally changing how we produce and consume energy, how we heat and cool our buildings, how we travel from place to place, how we move goods and services around the world, grow our food, and manage our water. Our elected leaders, our clients, and even our families are depending on us to solve these incredibly complex and difficult problems. When humanity is facing all these challenges, They will not be solved by your accountant, by your lawyer, by your doctor, or even your local politician. They will be solved by engineers. The very survival of mankind and the health of our planet depends on the projects we design, the decisions we make, and the technology we invent. We hold a pivotal role in guiding this transformation. And so it's only fitting that today is Earth Day 2021. And I hope each of you will do your part in the most important work we've ever done. I thank you all for joining me today, and I look forward to a great year of doing this important work together. So at this time, I'd like to invite Carlene to join me again as a presenter, and we'll be happy to address comments or questions that you've typed in the chat box. Dana will read these on your behalf. So Dana, do we have any member questions?
We don't have any member questions. We do have quite a few members sending congratulations and thanks to you, both you, Carlene, and our new board. So
I would also chime in and just say, if anyone wants to turn on their camera now and turn on their microphone to just go ahead and ask questions, just so we can have a little bit of fellowship before we conclude, that'd be great.
Please do, shout them out there.
Carlene wants to see faces, right, Carlene?
Right.
That's right.
Does anyone have any questions about our strategic plan and some of the things Carlene talked about that we've accomplished the past year? I know last year Brad introduced that strategic plan. It's our 3-year plan. It goes through 2022.
I can't turn my camera on because you guys have turned it off.
I think Dana can give you permission back, Dave.
I just did.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have to do that for all the incoming board members, Dana.
Okay.
I would just say, this is Brant. I would just say, having been involved with ACEC for 5 or 6 years now, and actually several other boards unrelated to ACEC, that the staff of ACEC is unmatched with any other group I've ever worked with. The leadership that Marilyn's given the group since I've been involved, and then the transition to Heidi, who's going to just do an amazing job going forward. It really makes the organization very strong and effective, as you might have observed. So I want to thank Marilyn for her many decades of service, which have benefited the consulting engineering group, and just look forward. I think Heidi's going to carry on Marilyn's amazing legacy, even as strong, if not stronger. So I'm just want everyone to recognize the amazing staff we have at ACEC.
Good point, Graham.
We're all clapping.
Yeah.
I agree, Brant, and I think this whole last year, like Carlene indicated, we've all gone through it in our own separate individual ways, and the staff was amazing to work with, unbelievably resilient, with no knowledge what was going to happen. Were people going to drop their memberships? How are we going to adjust all of this? And I'll just say from my own personal experience, the value I got from ACEC just, as a member firm was incredible over the last year. Some of those early fireside chats and collaboration efforts and meeting on a regular basis was some of the best sort of support and advice, that I got, from a good collaborative group. And so again, I would echo that as well, Brant. I would say thank you so much to Carlene for the last year and the steadfast leadership, and to Bill and Marilyn, Heidi, Dana, Brenda, thank you so much. It has, I've always felt strongly about the ACEC support that we get at our company. And the last year has just reinforced that twofold from what we've been getting in the past. And so thank you so much for the support over the last year, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you moving forward as well.
Thank you, Gray and Brant and Bill and Carlene and both the outgoing board and the incoming board. Greatly appreciate the support that you've always given to me and the staff over the years. And I have to commend the staff. They are just as dedicated as you all to contribute to benefiting whatever it takes to improve the business climate for consulting engineering firms.
I would just add, since we have probably some people who we don't talk to all the time on that, we are having a retirement party for Marilyn in January of this coming year. So I think it's Friday, January 22nd. So you can save the date. We'll be sending out some save the date materials, and that will be an in-person event, Carlene. Our first one. Yes, it'll be our first one since all this began. And Marilyn did just celebrate 30 years back in October, right, Marilyn? So she'll be at 31 when she retires, 31 in a few months. So.
And Marilyn, I want to say thank you. I think I was there when you started. And I appreciate it. I remember when I was approached to go through the boards, the first thing I did was call Marilyn and said, "You're not going to be leaving before I'm going to be done, are you?" So thank you.
I asked her the same thing here when I started. So.
What date is that? January 20th?
It's, I believe, let's see here.
January 22nd.
Yeah,
Saturday?
Saturday.
A Friday.
It's maybe it's the 21st. Let's see here.
Yeah,
oh, 21st. Okay.
I wasn't expecting to say it. Yes, it's Friday the 21st of 2022.
Okay.
So yeah, we all had it right?
Any other questions out there?
Well, Marilyn, we are really gonna miss you. We're gonna get a lot out of you between now and then, though. So yeah. We're gonna.
I know, and I'm ready for that. But again, we've been working on this transition for a while, and Heidi's gonna do an amazing job. And take it to the next level. And I'm excited for you all, as well as for me of going into another chapter, but that's still a number of months away. So right. I'll definitely still be around and look forward to seeing all of you soon. The golf tournament will be actually our first.
Well, but that's the foundations. So it's not technically ours.
Yeah, well, we're very tied to it. We're partial to that golf tournament that benefits our scholarship fund, and it's now great that it is a foundation that was set up just a few years ago. So this golf tournament, it's just great that we're able to do it again in person to benefit.
So if anyone wants to put that on their calendar, it's August 9th. And it is at Buffalo Run in Commerce City. So you can put that on your calendar too.
Neat. I will be there.
Yeah, we have sponsorships available too. So anyone who's interested
sponsor now.
Sponsor now. We do anticipate we'll probably sell out because we're not sure what the golf course is going to let us do of having our full 144 as usual. So.
Well, you know, the budget committee went through the budget a little bit ago, and I will say ACEC is in great financial shape. You guys really did a good job. The business practices series has has really been successful. And, you know, those were the best sessions that we had all year. Learned about all sorts of great stuff. And so that was a great effort. I think everybody sincerely appreciates it. And, you know, we did well as an organization. So good job.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, Bill, that, you know, again, some resiliency, but, you know, the ACEC staff had to scramble on the leadership training program, and they were able to make some adjustments and some shifts. And so, like a lot of things, we've all seen some silver linings out of this pandemic. And I think that's one of the silver linings was finding maybe a better, more effective way to share this training more broadly across the state and to some of our firms that are not in the Denver metro area, but still being able to get the great benefit of that collaboration and building those cohort groups. And so I know our firm has really, really appreciated the opportunity to get our folks trained through that program. So any of you out there that haven't looked into it and are interested, I strongly encourage you to, because it's just getting better and better over time.
Yep, it's true.
Anyone have a joke? No jokes?
Yeah. Any engineer jokes? Alexa, tell me an engineer joke.
If anybody has any issues for national, I will be, instead of enjoying out the apple blossoms, I'll be doing it from my living room on Sunday mornings. So if you have any issues with national, please get in touch with me between now and then.
Good deal.
Sure wish we were in DC. Do I sound like a broken record?
Peter, I would say for national, this is Brant. We were having a discussion in our last board meeting that I think you're at, where we were just sort of questioning or asking what is the national ACE national stance on, you know, basically on climate change. We don't believe they have an official statement or policy out, and maybe they won't, but just that whole topic is of interest to our next year. So I would be curious what national's perspective is on that.
Thank you. I'll bring that up.
Yeah, and I do have something Marilyn got from somebody at ACC National, which I can send to you. I was going to send to the Vertical Design Committee, but I'll send it to you as well, Peter, just as a little background.
Thank you.
Well, it will be interesting. The Senate just unveiled a new package of clean energy tax breaks. And of course, Biden is announcing that we're going to reduce emissions 50% here in the coming years. So certainly it seems like the national policy is heading towards trying to do something. So I think that's good. They are trying to make it, neutral as far as what fuel to use. So I think they're trying to balance everybody's interests. But it is important stuff.
Yes, and we're looking forward to ACC National and any one of you to help us with that messaging of how we support that effort, at the same time give some insight of the necessary steps that it may take to get there and the timeline that they want. And so it's like Bill said, it's a great time for engineers to be able to step at the plate and be that trusted advisor and give insight to those decision makers on how we can achieve the goals that they want to do.
Yeah, Marilyn, we've got a lot of work to do. Certainly the current legislation that's being proposed, there's lots of work to help them make it practical and reasonable and achievable.
Right. I would encourage everybody to keep watching The Voice, especially the advocacy section and the different bills that we're tracking, because I think it will give you a sense of where you need to position your firms. You might look at the different sectors, and because I think it says a lot about where the state wants to be in the coming years. And I have no doubt that the engineers are going to be able to meet the challenges. It's some of the other pieces to it that we need to be just as influential, you could say, and have an impact on delivering the message and guiding them through that process.
I like when you hear reasonable, practical, and politicians all in the same sentence. That's the gold standard there, right?
Right. That's a challenge.
You know all your legislators, right? Your House representative and your state Senate representative, you hopefully will get to that place. And that's how it'll be done, is that grassroots effort.
Yeah.
All right. It's like the old saying, you know, legislators should not do more good than their constituents can stand.
That's great.
So please don't do any more good than we can stand.
Right.
The other quote I've seen on leadership is disappointing your people at a rate they can accept.
That's great. I need to write that down. Well, we certainly have some bills in the legislature that could affect us. How is that workplace harassment bill? Is it still stalled?
It is still in committee.
We're still waiting on the amendment, new amendment, so that it can go to the committee again. And Lacey, you haven't heard any further updates on that, have you?
No, they're doing multiple amendments, and so we're just kind of waiting to see what we're going to find, and then they'll come back to kind of all the stakeholders and see if anybody can agree on anything or not. So, I mean, we're getting kind of late in the game for such a big bill, but as Marilyn and Heidi can tell you, we're seeing that with a lot of the bills that are coming down. We haven't seen the transportation bill yet, and the benchmarking bill just came out. So, I mean, they're playing fast and furious the last, 5 weeks of session. So we'll keep you posted. But yeah, I have not heard anything else about that.
Well, they could amend that to like 0 words, and that would be just about right.
I would prefer to just see it die on the calendar.
We will update everybody as soon as we hear anything. We're part of an opposition coalition with the state chamber and a number of other trade associations. So we'll kind of get the heads up a little early, but there's nothing even been drafted or, proposed yet. So it's very long haul ahead of us.
Yeah, right. Well, good. I think we should probably wrap up at this point. Again, thank each of you for spending time with us today. We look forward to a great 2021-22 and look forward to seeing you at one of our virtual and perhaps in-person events ahead. I'd like to call a meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
We
you.
all appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all doing.